Hey, Josh. All right. We just did a 30-minute break here in Dodge City, Kansas. Ready. And we got the second half of the day to get up to York, Nebraska. And the only update I had from my truck was on Friday. I was told they are waiting for some parts. Now, what that actually means, what parts are they waiting for? Transmission, clutch, hydraulics, something else I don't know about? To be honest, I don't know. I'm gonna put that on a little bit sooner so I would know what you're doing.
Speed limit reduced ahead.
Helps if I don't miss a gear.
First left onto KS 129.
Oh, cool beans, cool beans. Like I said, you know, that's as far as what's going on with the truck, that's the only information that I've had. And I got that, you know, basically yesterday, or I mean, I'm sorry, Friday. Until they call me saying, hey, your truck is done, we're going to get you back here to get back in your truck and get out of this loaner truck. It's basically just a waiting game. Basically just a waiting game.
Turn right onto East Wyatt Earp Boulevard.
East Wyatt Earp Boulevard. All right. So we are heading northeast, mostly north. We're having, you know, once we get out of Dodge City here, we're gonna be a little bit more a little more north than anything else. Yes, sir, Container Man. Leaving Dodge City. Not one of them places I typically like stopping. It's okay as a waypoint, but the Pilot Flying J here, not exactly new. It's a bit worn down, needs a refresh. The Loves is okay, but since I don't fuel,
keep right onto East Wyatter.
since I don't fuel at Loves, I don't get any shower credits there. You know, rarely do I buy anything at other Loves to get any kind of points. So, you know, it's, like I said, it's just one of them places that I stop at. I don't really have a fondness for it or anything, so. But there's many places like that, you know, that as a truck driver, you know, well, yeah, you Container Man, yeah, if I remember right, you have many more years of trucking than I do. Like I said, this is my 4th year, you know, trucking. You know, this I'm in the middle of my 4th year of trucking. So
In half a mile, keep right onto East Wyatter.
It's not. Listen, there's so much that I don't know, so many things that I've missed that other, you know, more experienced guys can, you know, remember, and, you know, so it's, I just have to go off of what I know from my short time in the industry, my short time behind the wheel. All right, yield ahead, 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 yield ahead. You think they're trying to tell you something here. Maybe you should yield. All right. So we're gonna make a turn up here in about half an hour. We are heading up to US 81 here in Kansas. Which the reason we want to stay away from 135 is to not pay the toll. But that, you know, 135 is really out of the way anyway. It's too far east. So we're on US 56, 283. Yeah, a little bit of US 50. Hey, Mr. Tom Bell. How you doing? Well, you know, my first company that I was with, Watkins Shepherd, which was bought out by Schneider, they were a Pilot Flying J fueling company. You know, go to the Pilot Flying J, that's where you fill off, blah, 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 blah. When I went to Melton Truck Lines, they would fill anywhere. They would give you the quote fuel solution. You know, this is where we want you to fill up. Well, you know, I was never mandated or ordered to only fill up where the fuel solution was. If you if you filled up wherever you wanted, you didn't get the fuel bonus. Which the fuel bonus wasn't big enough for me to compromise on the service I wanted and the rewards points that I got from going to Pilot Flying J exclusively. Well, yeah, Container Man, yeah, I mean, Pilot has the shower power, which I get every month without a problem. So free showers, I get, every month I'll have the free showers, one a day. Once I reach 1,000 gallons, the next month we'll have a free shower every day. And also I get that shower token for filling 50 gallons as well. So when I'm doing a 34, I can get up and shower in the morning, do some work outside around the truck, get dirty, middle of the day, go take a shower. And if I have enough credits, I can take a third shower in that day. So, it's always been good. Plus, Pilot Flying J, instead of earning just 1 point per gallon, I can work my way up to 4 points per gallon, which is nice. I get that extra, every gallon gives me 4 points. Like I'm in position right now, so it works for me. Yeah, so, especially when I'm working on the truck, get greasy, get dirty, get rusty, or if I get up in the morning, I just feel I need that wake me up type shower. Go in, grab a quick shower, like the old TV commercial, get zestfully clean, and people are sniffing the bar of soap and getting all loopy off of it. Oh, Loves does that as well. Cool beans. Yeah. Well, that's right, they do it because they got the, what is that, the diamond status? Yeah, I forgot Loves did that as well. I mean, Loves, for the most part, I do enjoy. I think their stores are pretty well done. I mean, they got the same exact stuff as Pilot, for the most part. So there's no big surprise going into a Loves or any of that. Yeah, just about there. I mean, I'm on AT&T, and for the most part, I'm happy with it. I get a good signal. But here's the thing, my internet access, which is a separate device, is also running on the AT&T network. There are times where I'll lose the phone, but I won't lose internet. It's weird. The tower's right there, I can see it, but the way contracts work, sometimes one will go out and not the other. So, but it's a cell phone signal for the internet. So if it drops off, it drops off. There ain't a thing I can do about it. You just kind of grin and bear it, Like I said, we're going up here to the next stretch of our thing here. Just about 2 hours and 45 minutes up here to a rest area on US 81. If I remember, it's on 81. So we're going to get up here and then get on to I-70. We'll take I-70 east, get off on the I-81, on the US 81, and that's for the most part going to take me all the way up north to Fargo. So then Fargo, we're going to make this delivery. We got 5 little welding units on 2 pallets. You know, this kind of steel band them together. I'll do a couple straps on them. Not a big deal. We got a GLG Skyjack scissor lift. And we got a GLG 660S boom lift. We're taking all these from one branch of Titan Machinery from Phoenix and from Tucson. We're taking these 7 items on up to Fargo, drop them off up there. From Fargo, we're going to bebop down to Aberdeen, South Dakota. We got a John Deere 6175 tractor with dually tires to pick up. We're going to bring that back down to Alva, Oklahoma, which is not too far south of the border with Kansas. So basically almost, you know, right about, I don't know, right about here. You know, roughly this area here. I think I might be going through, I might come back through Dodge City again on my way south. That's a possibility, you know, we'll see. But, like I said, we're going to bring that down to Alva, Oklahoma, and then we will be waiting for another load assignment from there. The only real issue that I'm having right now, that on my 70-hour clock I have 9 hours and 19 minutes to do anything. And the first day of work from this 70-hour period was the 14th. So here we are on the, what is it, this today's the 20th? Today's the 20th. So Monday, you know, once we park it for the night, we'll have to see what kind of hours I get back. Because I know on the 14th, I spent 9 hours and 56 minutes on that day. And then Tuesday, I only spent like 2 hours and something minutes, almost 3 hours. So I'll get almost 10, then like 3. And once I reach my stop, miles to Fargo to make my delivery. So I could pretty much do that. You know, get up to make that delivery, but that does not leave me a lot of time. And I could probably, you know, the next day I could probably make it down to Aberdeen, get loaded, get to a truck stop. So, but then I would, you know, I would only have a partial day that day, and all the other recaps are, I think, 10 hours plus after that. So we are passing Spearville, that little truck stop we just passed on the left. Last time I came through here, I stopped there. And that's when we were going to, where did we go to? We went to, we went to Albuquerque. When Christina was riding with me, we went out, we came this way and went to Albuquerque with that load. And Albuquerque had been the furthest west I had been in well over a month, well over 2 months, I think. Because the furthest west I had been before that, in a good long while, was out in Pueblo, out in Colorado, Denver, a little bit north of Denver. That had been the furthest west I had been in a good while before that. So, a month, at least a month or two. So this last trip took me out to Phoenix, made my delivery, made my first pickup with this, bebopped over to Tucson, picked the scissor lift and the boom lift up at at about 4:15 on Friday. Parked at the Pilot there in Tucson. Yesterday I got to Tucumcari, parked there for the night. And now from Tucumcari we're going to get up here to York, Nebraska. Now, I'm debating which I would rather park at. Either it's park at the Petro, which the only advantage to parking at the Petro really gives me is they have a Baskin and Robbins on the inside. Get a little ice cream that I like. Or I park at the Sapp Brothers, just a couple blocks, like 1,000 feet south of the Petro, and park there for the night, which I kind of like the Apple Barrel restaurant. It's not too bad. I mean, it's cookie cutter. I mean, it's pretty much the same as the Iron Skillet or Denny's, Huddle House. The country bumpkin, whatever the other thing is. They're all pretty much the same, but I really don't eat there at any of those a lot because everybody knows I cook on the truck, so. No, we are not wide load. We're all at basically 8 foot. The scissor lift is 3 foot wide, 8 foot long, and in its closed position it is now, it's about 6.5 feet tall, 7 feet tall, up at the very top railing for the man basket on the scissor lift. And I think this one lifts up to 21 or 22 feet. The boom lift is 34 feet, 35 foot long, with the boom all the way, the telescopic boom all the way closed and on the deck. I'm actually hanging the man basket for the boom lift is hanging 1 foot off the back. Belfort. A little bit less snow here than there was down there in Oklahoma and up to Dodge City. A little bit less snow in this area. Yeah, like I said, you got the Sapp Brothers there. You got the Petro there. I don't remember what else is there. I know if you go over to Gretna, you got a couple stops there, which that's kind of out of the way. I like the Pilot Flying J over in Gretna. Not too bad a place to stop. Like I said, the Petro. Last Christmas, I spent at the Petro there in York. just a wee touch there, Tom. You know, just a wee touch of sarcasm there. I mean, last night I didn't get to Tucumcari until after 7 p.m. I went and got a quick shower. And it was about 8 o'clock, almost 9 o'clock before I actually made dinner last night. Yeah, like I said, we still got 143 miles up here to this rest area that we're going to do our load check at. And then that leaves 150 miles, I think it is. Well, 133 according to Rand McNally, to the Sapp brothers there in York. I think I know the one you're talking about. I don't think I ever actually pulled in there for more than a load check. There, Container Man. I think I stopped at the one you're talking about there. Maybe. I think I stopped there back when I was still working at Melton, 2 years ago. But, like I said, we're going to stop at this rest area, about another 135 miles. We're just going to round it off to that. To York, that'll be our day completed. We have 5 hours and 35 minutes of drive time. So we got the time to get there at the posted speed limit. So I'm really not worried about rushing. I mean, this is almost a 2,000 mile run from Albuquerque, from Phoenix up to Fargo. And then it's about another 700 or another 800 miles coming from Fargo back down to Oklahoma. So we got we got some running to do, but it's all really just a matter of getting her done. Yeah, that guy passing us was just about 3 inches wider than the truck. But still got to flag it up. So. All right, Offerla. I don't think they pronounce it Awfula, but that's the way I've always pronounced it. So, little typical farming town. You got the railroad tracks on the right. You got the silos here, the elevators, whatever they want to call them here. I think this way they're called elevators. I do not remember I think that it's primarily corn here. They might do a bit of soybean here, but Offerly, I think, is the actual proper way to pronounce the name of the town. But I always called it Awfula. Just sounds funnier. Oh yeah. Well, if I say anybody who's ever driven US 54 from Las Cruces up to Santa Rosa, you know the kind of town that we often go through. Basically ghost towns that we actually go through sometimes. Oh yeah, Florida is to me in my opinion, the worst place for me to try to park. I have never enjoyed, I enjoy going to Florida, to a new place in Florida, just because of the novelty of seeing someplace new. But parking, no. It's never there just isn't a whole lot of it, Oh yeah, Offerly. But like I said, sometimes I let my Baltimore accent come through. So I guess I will always look at it through that kind of prism of how to pronounce names to myself. But when I'm talking to a person from that area, their name, their hometown, I try to get it right when I'm speaking to them. But to myself, I always say things, the Baltimore pronunciation, the way it's going to be. But that's I guess a lot of people are kind of guilty of that. We'll do it the wrong way to ourselves because that's the most natural way we're going to say it, but whatever. All right, so Nowheresville, Kansas. Hey, Passing Lane, Kansas, half a mile ahead. Bet you didn't know there was a place called Passing Lane in Kansas. According to that sign, there is, and here we are, downtown Passing Lane. A major bustling avenue here in the center of town. It's got to be a pretty busy town. They got 2 lanes going each way. Yeah, useless. Yeah, I do the same thing. Useless. Oh yeah. Well, the way people pronounce a name of a place, especially around the Baltimore area, I could instantly tell if somebody was a native from Maryland, from Baltimore in particular, the way they pronounce certain towns. Now there's a town, outside of Baltimore, a little bit to the west, called Ellicott City. But if you write it out, it's pronounced. You would, and if you're not from the area, you would say Ellicott. Ellicott. Ellicott.
In 2 miles, turn right onto Miss Highway 56 toward us 56.
And like I said, when somebody said that to me, hey, how do I get to Ellicott City? I'm going, well, I'm sorry, I don't know where that is. I know where Ellicott City is. E-L-I or E-L-A, Ellicott, C-U-T. That's the Baltimore way of pronouncing, Ellicott City. We would say Ellicott. A big amount of slurring going on in the Baltimore accent. Right turn coming up. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And the very first time I came up and down this road, I believe it was August, blazing hot. The AC in the Volvo I was driving at the time wasn't really cutting it. It was kicking out a little bit, like 85-degree cool air. wasn't exactly a happy camper by the time I got parked.
In half a mile, turn right onto West Highway 56 toward S56.
And I always remember it because up here, near this grain elevator up here, there was like a pack of like 400 dogs roaming around, and it was just...
Turn right onto West Highway 56 toward S56.
It was just an odd sight seeing that many dogs just out roaming the streets. And it's like, man, what we got a invasion of the canine midlife truck. You lived in Harford County? Hey, man, a little bit of rising sun, a little bit of Aberdeen, or as we in Baltimore called it, Aberstink. A bit north of Edgewood. Yep. Get up toward the old Susquehanna. Get over into Cecil County.
Speed limit reduced ahead.
Yep, I'm an old Baltimore boy. Yep. Not as this one is a little the locomotive here is a little bit nicer than the one in Coffeyville. But but the one in Coffeyville I think is probably a little bit more known to more people because that's a bit more of a truck road. That way is a little bit more well known. So Kinsley, Kansas. Your typical quiet, plains little town. Not bustling by, bigger city status, but I really haven't seen much that is either repulsive or attractive by it, so. But just one of them places that we go through, we don't get to that we get to see just in passing. Oh yeah, yep. Well, see, I used to live off of Bel Air, Maryland, off of Bel Air Road, down in Baltimore. Just south of Rossville. But that's pretty much the exciting part of Kansas here. But that's just the fun of driving a truck. Driving through mile and mile and mile of nothingness. But actually, Georgia on the interstates, Florida on the interstate, and Kansas on the interstate are the three states that I really don't like driving, on the major I-40, I-95. If I'm going to be driving in Kansas, I'd rather be driving on a back road like this. It's just a little bit more interesting, you know, to me at least. The interstate, you know, just some guys like running the interstate. I just don't. No, really, Container Man, I didn't. You know, watching your videos, I don't remember you ever saying the name of your hometown. I actually thought you were more from like Indiana. Now, Illinois, Indiana, La Crosse. Yep. Wow, La Crosse, Kansas versus La Crosse, Wisconsin. I'd probably pick La Crosse, Kansas over La Crosse, Wisconsin. Oh, Tom. Well, for my phone, I have AT&T prepaid, because back in the days when I was homeless for a little while, you know, that was all I could do, and I just kept it because it winds up being cheaper in the long run for me to just leave it as a prepay, you know, phone. I just put it on auto pay, and I don't even think about about it. But for my internet service, I was using a company called Unlimitedville, and the plan that I had from them ran off the AT&T network. But about 2 months ago, there was an issue with their contract and their supplier of the bandwidth. So I had to go to another company called Infinite Data, which is basically half price of Unlimitedville. So I pay $100 a month for my internet, which I do the live stream through. I got my phone, my camera, my GPS, tablet, computer. I got all of that hooked up through the little device, the internet device, and I'm happy with it, and it really works really well. So I don't tether to my phone, and I never ever have. So it's always been but that's what I use. A company called Infinite Data. And I've had really good signal for the most part on the AT&T network doing that. Now, especially when I'm doing my my cooking lives, I've never really had a problem with that, because being stationary, just is a little bit better, of course. Going down the road like this, you're always going to come into a network error, an error where the network didn't quite reach one cell phone tower to the other. So, it drops off sometimes. Or the feed starts to stutter. But other than that, not too bad. All right, Garfield, Kansas. Garfield. Little known fact about Garfield: And that's your little known fact. I don't even know it. Now I'm doing this through the GoPro. I never use my phone for video unless I'm standing still, I'm walking around with it. But the 99.999% of all my video is done with the GoPro Hero 7 Black. I'm going to be getting the Hero 9 maybe for my birthday in February. It's depending on if I want to spend the money for it. That's the thing. And then use that one as my main camera in this position, and put the Hero 7 in a waterproof case and mount it out to the trailer or on top of the truck or to the fender or the mirror. Give some other little more interesting shots. And what I may do is, when I buy the Hero 9, buy a second Hero 7 or whatnot, because you can get those for less than $200, I think, now on Amazon, if there's any left. To be able to give a little bit, wider array of, shots. Have one down on the bumper, have one up on the mirror, have one on the inside here. But I really haven't just. Well, I see one tower way off to my east, but I don't know if that's it there, Container Man. Man, it looks like it's got some dishes on it, but I'm not too sure if that's the one you're talking about. South and west of Garfield, if that's what you're talking about. Okay. Yeah, up at this elevator bank up here, it's that should be, I believe that's Garfield right there. 50s US 56 eastbound. Even though we're northeast right now, so. Past 183, not too far back. So this is another, like I said, I've been through this area. I think this is my actual 10th visit, number 10 on this road over the past 3.5 years, almost 4 years. But this is definitely better, down in New Mexico land. We have to get trees here. But being the northerner I am, being the Yankee I am, I prefer having trees around. we're down to 55, and then we got to slow down a little bit more. Garfield, Sea Limit. Bing, bang, boom. Bring her down into 16th gear, 45 miles an hour. No, for YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subscribers from a mobile device. But from a laptop, you can live stream. Even consider I don't know why that's a big deal. Normally, mobile device it crime. You know, my first year doing YouTube. Then all of a sudden, like I did like 10 or 11 lives. Then they destroyed it. But you can still do it on the Facebook, but you know, as much as you want. So I think Instagram, you can live stream without having a number of followers or friends or whatnot. Yeah, StreamYard I use because when I do my cooking show on Sundays, I live stream to Facebook, I live stream to this channel, This Trucker's Life, and I also live stream to my cooking channel, which I'm not doing a whole heck of a lot with that, but my cooking channel, Hungry for the Road. So I live stream to 3 different things at one time when I'm doing the cooking show on Sunday. And I use StreamYard for that. And I've been fairly happy. You know, StreamYard's been pretty good, for me at least. So if you're ever going to do, you know, live stream, you know, StreamYard, like the Tannerman says, is very, very good. I mean, and that's my opinion as well. You know, there's an old 660 there. All right. 115 miles up here to our next stop to do our load check. Like I said, we have about 130 miles, 135 miles after that up to York, Nebraska. Where we stop. And we have, once we get to York, we will have 453 miles up to Fargo. And we'll see what the recap does for us. And I believe it's going to be 9 hours and 56 minutes, I believe, which is more than enough time to get up to Fargo. And like I said, that was from the 14th. The 15th of November, I only spent like 2 hours and some minutes, 3 hours at the most on the clock on the 15th. So the very next day, I would not be getting a whole lot of hours. I could probably get down to Aberdeen, South Dakota, do my pickup, immediately go park. If I remember a 61 goes 9 foot wide, I'd have to wait for permits anyway. time going back down to Oklahoma. And like I said, we're going from Aberdeen, South Dakota, down to Alva, Oklahoma, which is roughly what the whole trip for that's gonna be around 820 miles, I think. You know, deadhead from Fargo to Aberdeen, then Aberdeen down to Alva. So, but we'll see. Hey, Huawei! Learned. Okay. I think the Learned, I was going east-west. I wasn't going north-south. I was going east-west when I passed through there. But that's been, like I said, at least 2 years ago minimum. Actually, probably more like 3 years ago. I still think I was at Watkins Shepherd. Yeah, I believe I was still at Watkins Shepherd at that time. It all runs together. We all know that, so. All right, 3 p.m. Where is the day gone? So, we'll get up here to this rest area around 5. Then we will get up to York around 7 o'clock. Yeah, about 7 o'clock we'll get to we'll get up there, which leaves approximately 1 hour on my clock of drive time. So I got a little bit of cushion. Like I said, being on the back roads here, we're not able to go, you know, 72 miles an hour like we are on the interstates. And plus dealing with the small towns we got to go through, where we got to slow down to like 45, 35 miles an hour. So that kind of reduces the distance we can go, but hey, I don't worry about that too much. Like I said, I'm with this particular company, I'm a salaried employee. I'm not worried about the miles. I have the same pay whether I drive, whether I sit. Well, yeah, I can tell you, man, I could, but I'm kind of a stick in the mud for that. So, you know, it's
2
like,
miles, continue on to Northeast Trail Street.
I'm not going to get any extra pay for going any faster. And I'm just, you know, after about 19, 20 years old, it was like, I just didn't see the, you know, I got the going fast bug out of my system. And it's like, yeah, just put it on cruise control, do the speed limit, just roll, you know. You know, it's just not my my thing to go as fast as humanly possible. Just, oh, the sign says 45, I'll do 45. I don't care if anybody passes me, you know. All right. Learned, Kansas. Like I said, last time I came through here, I actually was going east-west. So, if I remember correctly, the time before that, they were doing work
In half a mile, continue on to Northeast
on this
Trail
road.
Street.
Yeah, they're doing work on this road, and you
Speed
kind of
limit reduced ahead.
jog through the town here a little bit. Make quick left, quick right. Snack Park. So the last time I came through here, I was going on this street here, you know, across.
Continue on to Northeast Trail Street.
Here you go, typical person nowadays, riding his bicycle, more paying attention to his phone than he is about riding his bicycle. Hard to see around the corner, so like I said, this is, I guess, the main street here, and we're going to turn right here to stay straight.
Speed limit reduced ahead.
Like I said, quick left, quick right.
Rear left onto Northeast Trail Street.
Now, if I remember, no, going through the middle of town here, that is a truck route, but this is a truck route as well. This takes away from a little bit more of the traffic, a bit more pedestrian, so this is a little bit safer way to go here. And all the brick lined streets, I always like that. I always like looking at that. Ah, lordy, lordy, lordy. Then the road will bend to the left a little bit. And then we will make a right-hand turn at the stop sign. And we'll be back on the country road. Pawnee County.
Half a mile, turn right onto US Highway 56.
Northeast Trail Street is what this little road's called. So, well, I didn't mean this road. I meant up here, where we got to turn. Sharts Automotive.
Turn at the first right onto US Highway 56.
US Highway 56. This guy's going a little bit faster than I think he probably should be in this section here. So we're just going to wait for him. There you go. get back up to 65 miles an hour here. Make a little bit of run, 105 miles to go. And we're gonna make another, so do another load check up at this rest area. The sun will be down by that time, or at least very close to it. Yes, yeah, exactly, exactly. Know the area too well, like almost like you live here. So we got a balmy 56 degrees outside. And we're not doing too bad. I mean, 5.7 miles per gallon, according to the PeopleNet computer. This truck, being it's a loaner truck, again, it's kind of abused a little bit. It doesn't zero out the odometer, and it's only saying 4.4 miles per gallon, but there you go. No, we're not stopping at the one on 70. The stop on 70, once we merge with it, is to the west. We're not going that direction. We're gonna head over to 81, US 81, and take that north, and I believe it's just like 4 or 5 miles north on 81, if I remember correctly. That's where we're gonna stop at that rest area and do a quick like I said, load check there. And they got the windmill farm set up over here on the right hand side. They got some towers, they got blades. I don't see any well, yeah, okay, there I see a couple now. Yeah, I see a couple of transmission boxes. They got some cranes in there, so a lot of they got some parked in up there. And they probably got about 4 or 5 dozen towers in there at the moment. So I guess within a 20-mile radius of this area here, they're going to be putting up a lot of windmills. Now, the last time I was through here, I don't remember seeing that. So, I mean, so that must be fairly like last 4 months they got the approval to actually start doing that. So. I guess the speed limit is not fast enough. Nah, but whatever. Done.